yesterday I posted a video called Titania is the best Science 7-star in the game, and before I posted that, I thought, okay, there is one champion that'll try to offset this, right? And this champion is Photon, because Photon is, of course, one of the craziest dual threat characters in the game, and after recording this video, I think I was wrong. I think Photon is actually the best 7-star science character because look how crazy this is right here. This is a rank 2 America Chavez, and we're gonna do it in about 32 seconds. So yeah, that's insane, obviously, right? But of course my Photon is a rank 3 7-star Photon. This girl is like, at the max level. It is a maxed out Photon essentially, and she is just crushing it so far. Like 32 seconds on a rank 2 Chavez is just really, really impressive, right? But why is Photon the best science character? Well, or not the best science character, but like the best science 7-star. Well, it just comes down to like her being a great dual threat, right? And of course, like in 2024 especially, defense is insanely important because defense is good for like battlegrounds, it's good for alliance war as well, and those two game modes are pretty much the two most important game modes in the entire game. And while like having like offensive value is still really, really good, if you're a dual threat character, you kind of have more overall value than like just pure attackers. Now Titania is a pretty good like dual threat too because of her massive health pool and her insane tankiness, but Photon is just one of the best defenders in the game, right? She is easily like a top 5 defender. Like, it goes Bullseye, maybe Onslaught, then Photon, or maybe just like, Bullseye, then Photon, just like that. So yeah, it's crazy, right? How like powerful this character is on defense. Like, she really did change the meta, and right there you can see that Photon honestly is pretty utility packed as well. Like right there, we got stunned, nothing happened because we were untouchable. That untouchable is just so good to just save yourself from certain scenarios. And also right there, look at that. We took like 0 damage from that Dr. Doom, and that's a rank 5 ascended Dr. Doom, and right there the untouchable saved us as well. So this character is just not only super tanky, but she has ways to just straight up ignore damage with like the taunt, with inequity, and with that untouchable as well. So yeah, this character is just so utility packed, and this right here is a rank 4 Rintra. But Rintra has like a massive health pool, right? And he also has Neutralize, and that Neutralize is what makes him really annoying. But Photon is immune to Neutralize, so she pretty much is the best counter to Rintra. And yeah, the fight is just a joke because of that. It is just such a clean fight. She is so good at just like neutralizing Rintra, right? Which is pretty ironic, but still. Here I dropped the SP2, and it does a nice, 48,000 damage there at the end. Pretty sweet stuff, and this matchup is essentially over because I go for the combo, I drop the relic, I go back in, a nice 13,000 medium, and that just does it. So that was really clean, that was really fun. Photon is just insanely fun to play too, and here we have this Gauntlet Terax fight. Now Titania took this pretty well because of the Haymaker. Photon is just straight up a tank and a half, and it's honestly just insane because Photon, fun fact about her, has a base 35% energy resistance. That is powerful. That is really, really good, and it makes her good for like these matchups. It makes her good for Mephisto as well. Pretty much any energy damage, she just deals with it pretty decently, right? And like with inequity, with a taunt debuff, she just further reduces that damage output too. So yeah, she is just a monster when it comes to reducing damage output, and her base stats are just so broken as well. So yeah, Photon is just crazy strong. She is just bursting down this Terax with absolute ease. It is so satisfying. We go back in, get another combo going, we get the intercept, we drop the SP2 in a bit here, and it does some pretty nice damage, 24,000 crits. No crits there, but it's fine. And yeah, this matchup is almost over, but now we're out of pure light form, but it's whatever because we're like pretty much done with the fight. We get the intercepts, we keep on going, and yeah, this matchup should wrap up pretty soon at this point. So that was a very clean matchup. Photon just one of the best at just being insane for burst matchups. Of course, this is a rank 3 Photon, so this is like, her max potential, right? Well, not really, because I haven't, put on full boost yet, but you'll see that pretty soon, and it's really crazy stuff, by the way. But yeah, here we have this Gauntlet Vision, and Vision right here is notorious for just being really annoying with the special attacks, because he drops the SP1, he drops the SP2, and then he is just guaranteed to drop the SP3 afterwards unless he is taunted, right? And Photon, of course, has taunt, so she just makes pretty quick work of this Vision fight. So yeah, overall, just really good for any power control matchup because of that taunt. She also has suppression too, so combine those two and you have some pretty great power control from the science, perspective. And yeah, the matchup is going pretty good so far. We're getting 20,000 mediums right there. We drop another SP2, some nice crits, some more 30,000 plus crits there as well. And yeah, this is just amazing, right? Photon is crushing this Vision. We go back in, and that is essentially a wrap at this point. Almost missed the intercept there, but I didn't, so no big deal. And yeah, that just does it. That was really fun. That was a really fun fight for sure. One of my favorites in this video. Here we have this Gamora, just a real quick showcase of her in act content. She's really good for act fights. She's a questing character, right? You want to build her up in the first fight, and once you have her built up, you are pretty much just ramped up for the rest of the quest, and that's why she is so good in these questing scenarios. Now in Battlegrounds, she's pretty good there because the ramp up to 25 charges isn't that bad, plus she can prematurely enter pure light form. But also in Alliance War, for example, this champion is just crazy because you ramp her on the first fight, and for the rest of Alliance War, she is just a monster. She takes fights so fast, and for my run with her in Decay, she was just unreal. She was one of the best attackers, just flat out, and that's because she had a lot of extra debuffs there as well. And that reminds me, with Photon here, if you have extra debuffs to give the opponent from a node or something, she is gonna be so insane, and that's why she is just one of the best when it comes to any matchup where there are debuffs from external sources. So yeah, Photon just has her uses for sure. I think she's a great champion on attack as well as defense, of course. She is a defender, obviously she was made for defense, but it's surprising how good she is on attack as well, because you think that pure defenders are just pure defenders, right? But Photon isn't that in the slightest. For example, Maestro, I love Maestro so much, he's rank 3 as well. He's not really an attacker, right? He's not really meant for attack, doesn't do anything too fast, and doesn't have too much utility, but on defense he is the worst, right? Photon, really fast on attack, utility packed for mystic matchups, and she has, insane defensive potential as well. So that's why Photon is arguably the best Science 7-star in general. I think when it comes to pure attack, Titania is still the best one, but when you combine both attack and defense, I think it has to be Photon because, she is doing amazing stuff not only on defense, but also on attack. And that's why, she just has so much value as a 7-star character. So yeah, Photon just crushing it in the contest so far, and also her rebalance is already out, and nothing's changing. So yeah, this character is going to stay the same forever. So yeah, she is just in the perfect spot, I feel like. And here we have this Ghost Rider path. Now this is just hilarious because you want to have 4 debuffs to, get the weapon down, but once you get the weapon on yourself, you inflict armor breaks, right? So she just ramps up instantly. The ramp is just instant, the damage is insane, and she is just so fun for this path. And yeah, Photon is just crushing it here. That was such a clean matchup. 20 seconds, just super fun to do. And we have other gameplay past this. This is just for fun, a nice intermission, right? But yeah, this is just crazy stuff. We're already ramped. Pure light form is up, 41,000 mediums. And by the way, her base damage output isn't far from that too. So yeah, this is just it's just a nice bonus, but she can hit really hard herself too. And yeah, a nice 83,000 crit or something. It's just wild stuff, to be honest. Now we have this Mojo. It's a Mojo. Photon crushes it. Now Photon is a bit weird in the science class because she's not like buff immune, right? So she doesn't counter like any of the buff punishing characters, except for like the Petrify, because the Petrify lets her counter Mystic Dispersion. So in like competitive content like Alliance War or Battlegrounds, she's really good for Mystic champions. And right here, it's just goofy stuff, just insane, just a like crazy champion, of course. Now we have this Gore fight, and I want to show you what she looks like in, you know, these high health pool matchups. Like you saw it with Terax already, you saw it with Vision, but this is a Gore that regens as well. And regen is really fun for Photon, because with Photon here, with Max Despair, you block out all healing, and once that is like, you know, secured, your Petrify reduces all healing as well. So it is just a very nice pairing. She has a ton of debuffs, of course, and with the Petrify, you just reverse everything. So it's pretty reliable, plus her base damage is really good, so it can help like keep pace with the Gore. And yeah, this matchup is just pretty good so far. Just gotta keep on, you know, getting those Petrifies up, gotta stay aggressive, and we do that pretty well in this fight. But then again, it can get kind of sketchy because Gore is Gore, and you know, if he hits your block just once, it is really dangerous. But I think we're fine here. I dropped the SP1, does some pretty nice damage, and yeah, so far so good here. The Petrify is still just keeping pace pretty well, and yeah, nice 13,000 crit. He's still blocked from healing as well, so we're just chilling. And yeah, just a really nice time here. Just gotta finish this up now. The regen at this point is pretty strong, so once like we get that regen reversed, it is going to be massive damage. But now he's healing a ton, and that is just pretty dangerous, right? Because Gore's regen at like this level is massive, so I got to keep the debuffs up, which I do kind of well. And yeah, now the Heroverse is just doing crazy things at this point. So the matchup is essentially over, but not necessarily just yet, because Gore can go south really fast. But for the most part, his healing is now blocked again. We're just reversing the healing now. And yeah, just so good from Photon here. I try to enter Pure Light form, which I do, but I do take some debuffs on me too, so that's not good. But then I drop my SP2. It does some pretty good damage. And yeah, this matchup is essentially over now, right? Let's see. I go for the combo and I get it on the first hit. So that was pretty clean. A bit of a long fight for sure, but that regen reversal was just really good. And now we have this Morningstar fight to end it here. And this Morningstar just has Caltrops, and you know, Morningstar at base does have that bleed whenever you hit her, so gotta watch out for that. But then again, Photon is bleed immune. And I don't know why she is, but I guess like it's just part of her abilities, like, you know, in the comics, which makes sense because she is like this. I think she's like, you know, I don't know what she is actually, but it makes sense, right? It just makes sense. But yeah, here I just get the intercept for the cold snaps. I go back in, doing some nice 19,000 mediums, get the intercept again, drop my SP2. Do I get any crits? No, unfortunately, but it's whatever. Go back in, get the pause up, and now we're just in a pretty great spot here. Here she kind of plays passive though, which is annoying, but she drops it there thankfully. Go back in, get a nice 17,000 medium crit, and the damage output now is just really good. The block penetration too is just really strong as well. And yeah, the block penetration is pretty good for Photon. It's like one of her best things on defense, but on attack also, it's pretty dang sweet. There we get some nice crits, and the matchup kind of feels over at this point. So I just drop a combo, drop an intercept, and yeah, that should just do it. So that was a pretty clean fight. Morningstar, not the biggest issue, obviously, but still a really fun fight there. And yeah, rank 3 Photon kind of just crushes everything, right? She's great for attack, she's great for defense, like one of the best defenders in the game, right? And she is just a menace essentially everywhere. Great for Alliance War attack, great for pretty much any competitive game mode in the entire game, and she is just such a useful champion overall too. So, is she the best Science 7 star? Probably, right? But Titania is still super insane, right? But let me know your thoughts on Photon, and yeah, that's about it for me.